Hi guys, I'm coming on to share with you how to ask your spirit guides, God, Jesus, angels, universe, whatever it is for you, how to ask them for signs and symbols that you can receive in order to receive the guidance that you're looking for. Because sometimes we just don't know what to do or we feel a little lost. And so they're there to help you, and know that you can always ask them for help whenever you need it, and be open to the signs and symbols when you receive them, and ask to receive clear messages that you feel from your heart. So I'll give you my example. So the other morning, I just had a serious talk with God, and I was praying, and I'm like, God, I need to know your will for me. What is your will for me? Is your will for me to do chemo or not do chemo? Because it's a very scary thing, and there's all these different avenues that you can take. So I said, and I was very specific on what I wanted in my messages, and this is okay. I said, can you please bring me something gold if your will is for me to not do chemo and just do all the other natural methods and everything else? And I said, and if your will for me is to do chemo, then please bring me a feather. And so I put that aside, let it out of my head, just let it go. You cannot focus on it, because then you're going to be looking for something gold or looking for a feather. You need it to just come up, and you need to see it, recognize it, and then feel it in your heart space when it happens. And so that was the same day, and I said I wanted it that day, because I'm just bossy. Not in a bad way, but I did it in a loving space. So anyway, fast forward. I had to have my son go check the mail because I had a package that was delivered, and so he had to go down there and get it. So he went down there and get it, and he came back and he's like, I can't get it out of the mailbox. So everything happens for a reason, right? So he couldn't get it out of the mailbox because I needed to go down there and help him. So I went down there to help him. Turns out the mail guy put the thing in the back part, which is wider, and it couldn't come out the front. I eventually got it out. So got out the package, and I'm walking back home, and as I'm holding the package, I'm looking at the package because I kind of destroyed the box trying to get it out. And I looked, and all of a sudden I just saw on the floor, I saw the feather, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it hit me. It hit me like hard, like not in a bad way, but like it hit me in my heart. Like I felt it. It was like, oh, that's the feather message. And I had wrote them down because I wasn't going to remember like what I said. I was like, I literally put it on my head and I wrote it down on a sticky note. I'm like, okay, so if it was chemo, it was a feather, and if it was not chemo, it was finding something gold. So I came back and I checked, and that's what it was. And I was like, okay, so your will for me is to do chemo. Okay. So even though it's fearful, I've got to let that go. And I will tell you what happened with that, because I was creating blockages. I had so many issues trying to get appointments, and the referrals not going through, several referrals, and everything was just not falling into place. And it was a circus. And then as soon as I did that, like no joke, oh my gosh, like the day after, all the appointments started coming in. Like next thing you know, I have the chemo doc appointment next week. I have the other referral to the UC Davis next week. And then I have the port put in for the chemo the week after that. And then I get a phone call with my primary care provider, and that's for tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what the heck? It was like creating this blockage. I had this blockage because I wasn't trusting and having faith and believing, and I needed the sign. I needed to be shown that this is the path for me and this is what I need to do. I'm stage 3C rectal cancer. It's in my lymph nodes, it's in my sphincters. And so I'm going to be taking this chemo journey for the next 6 to 8 months. And then I'm going to be having surgery, and I'm just going to be praying for a miracle, and I'm going to ask God every step of the way, like, what do I need to do for me, for my highest and greatest good? And I'm going to listen with my heart and know that I can trust and have faith that everything is going to be okay. And I need to learn to enjoy the process, as scary as it is, and know that I can do this, and I can do this with God's help, Spirit's help, Jesus' help, angels' help. They're all there for you. Even on my walk this evening, I was walking and I found a dime in the middle of the road, and I always find dimes from Spirit. And that's a reminder, letting me know that they're there with me. They hear me. They hear the things that I'm asking. They hear me talking to them. They hear me asking for guidance. They're always there, loving and supporting me 100% of the way, 110, 120, 200% of the way. So know that you can ask them, that they are hearing you and they are there for you always. And then right after I found this dime, I actually found a feather in the middle of the road too. So just know you're not alone. Just know you can ask for guidance every day that you wake up. Please guide me, please lead me, please show me the way. And trust that feeling you get in your heart. It'll hit you hard. When I get surrounded by their love and light, like, I get emotional because it feels so good to me. And so I hope that you can also find that feeling within yourself, even if it's not necessarily with this per se, but just with anything in general. I hope that you can find peace and love in this world, and that you know that you're not alone. And I see you, I hear you. God sees you, He hears you, and your angels hear you. So I love you, they love you. Love always and forever. Bye for now.